The final Social Security age adjustment hits in 2026, and this is really good news, or at least it's important news, for anybody born in 1960 or after. I'm going to explain all the details for you here in this video, break it down in plain language, and help you understand exactly what this means for your retirement planning and your Social Security benefits. This has been a very long time coming, and I really mean that. This particular rule, this change we're talking about today, was passed way back in 1983. That's what, 43 years ago now? Yeah, 43 years ago. We're talking about the Reagan administration, a completely different era. And yet, the changes that were put into motion back then are only now, in 2026, finally reaching their conclusion. So let's talk through all the details, what this means for you specifically, why it took so long to implement, and what you need to know going forward about your Social Security retirement, age, and benefits. Now, before we dive deep into all of this, I want to point something out for you really, really fast here. If you happen to be one of the 70 million people currently on Medicare, or if you're approaching age 65 and getting ready to enroll in Medicare in the near future, and if you ever have questions about Medicare, need help navigating the system, or need help finding the best Medicare coverages for you and your personal situation, and possibly save a boatload of money in the process, make sure to call Chapter. The phone number is right there on your screen. Thousands of you in this community have already called them, and collectively, between all those people that have reached out and gotten help, you've saved millions of dollars. Absolutely amazing. I get comments all the time from people in this community who have called Chapter, gotten their free consultation, found better coverage, and are saving significant money every single month. It's honestly very exciting to see. So again, if you're on Medicare right now, if you're going to be transitioning into Medicare this year at all, or if you just want to review your current coverage to make sure you're getting the best deal possible, call Chapter. It's 100% free. There's no cost, no obligation. The phone number's right there on the screen. They've been absolutely great for those of you in this community that have received help from them, and I'm seeing incredible results. After you talk to them, feel free to drop a comment down below. Use the word Chapter so I can search for it and find your feedback. Let me know how it goes, what kind of savings you found, and I'd love to give you a shout out in a future video. And also add your name to this extensive list of comments that I'm getting here across the channel from those of you in the community who have reached out. Pretty cool stuff. All right, anyway, let's talk about the final age adjustment right now, 2026. Where are we currently at right now with this Social Security full retirement age situation? So again, going back to 1983, the good old 80s, right? Remember that era. Big hair, MTV, Ronald Reagan in the White House, all of that. Yeah, anyway, back in the good old 80s, specifically in 1983, Congress passed what's known as the Social Security Amendments of 1983. This was a massive piece of legislation designed to address a serious problem that Social Security was facing at the time. Here's what was happening back then. Social Security was facing an insolvency issue. The program was running out of money. Projections showed that the Social Security Trust Fund would be depleted within just a few years if nothing was done. There wasn't enough money coming in from payroll taxes to cover all the benefits going out to retirees. The math just wasn't working. So Congress had to do something, and they had to do it fast. They needed to shore up the program financially, make it sustainable for the long term, and ensure that benefits could continue to be paid not just for current retirees, but for future generations as well. One of the major changes they made was to push out the full retirement age. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, for many decades before 1983, the full retirement age for Social Security was 65. That was the standard. If you waited until age 65 to claim your Social Security retirement benefits, you would receive your full benefit amount with no reductions, no penalties. That was considered the normal retirement age. But in 1983, Congress decided to gradually increase that age from 65 to 67. Not immediately, not all at once, but slowly over time. This has been a very slow process, taking more than 4 decades to fully implement, of basically pushing out the goalpost, making people wait longer to receive their full benefits. And this is where we're currently at. Finally, in 2026, we are reaching the final adjustment. the last step in this long journey that began 43 years ago. So let me break down exactly what's happening this year in 2026, because this is the key piece of information you need to understand. For those individuals who are born in 1960 or after, their full retirement age is the age of 67. That's it, 67 years old, not 65 like it used to be for previous generations, not 66 like it is for some people born in the 1950s, but 67. Now, here's how we got to this point. The full retirement age has been increasing by 2 months every year. For certain birth year groups, it's been this gradual staircase climbing up slowly, 2 months at a time. For people born in 1959, their full retirement age is 66 years and 10 months. And those individuals are hitting their full retirement age right now in 2026. If you were born in 1959, this is your year to reach full retirement age, assuming you haven't claimed benefits early. But starting with people born in 1960, the full retirement age goes up by those final 2 months to reach 67. So it goes up by 2 more months in 2026 for that birth year cohort. What that simply means is that the final cohort, those individuals born 1960 or after, again, their full retirement age being 67, that's it. We ratchet higher this one last time, and that's it. It stabilizes. It stays right there at 67. It does not go any higher than that as of right now based on current law. So if you were born in 1960, 1965, 1980, 1995, 2000, whatever, if your birth year is 1960 or later, your full retirement age under current law is 67. The increases have stopped. The goalpost is set. You know exactly where you stand. However, and this is important, they continue to talk about possibly pushing out the full retirement age even further. I'm talking about lawmakers, policymakers, think tanks, Social Security reform advocates. There's ongoing discussion in Washington about potentially raising the full retirement age to 68, 69, or possibly even 70 years old. Now, if I'm being 100% fair and honest with you, based on everything I've been reading, all the proposals I've been following, and the general direction of these conversations, I don't think they're going to push it out to just 68. That seems too small of an increase. Maybe they'll go to 69, but realistically, I think if they're going to push out the full retirement age again, they're going for 70. I don't think they're going to do it by just 1 year or even 2 years. If they do it at all, which sounds like they might be seriously considering doing it at some point in the not-too-distant future, they're likely going to push it out by 3 full years, from 67 all the way out to the age of 70, pushing that goalpost out even further into the future. Now, that would not be a good situation at all for a lot of people, making people wait until age 70 to receive their full Social Security benefit. That's a significant change. That would mean even more years of working or even larger penalties for claiming benefits early, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, if they do decide to make this change, hopefully a lot of people can get on their benefit before that happens, because then you would likely be grandfathered in under the old rules. I can't imagine, and I really hope this is the case, that they would have something retroactive where, hey, I already took my benefit at 67 thinking that was full retirement age, and then they raised the full retirement age after the fact, and suddenly I'm getting penalized retroactively. That would be completely unfair and would probably face massive legal challenges. So if you've already claimed your benefit, you should be protected under the rules that existed when you claimed. But for younger workers, people in their 40s, 30s, 20s, if this change happens, it could significantly affect your retirement planning. Let's see what happens here over the coming, years. Realistically, this kind of major Social Security reform doesn't happen overnight. It takes years of debate, negotiation, political wrangling, and careful implementation. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on if you're planning for retirement decades down the road. But let's get back to the current situation and why this long, slow process of increasing the full retirement age has been such a big deal for so many people. This has been a long time coming for a lot of people, and it's been controversial, to say the least, because remember, they pushed out the goalpost. They made it harder for individuals to basically get their full benefit because you have to wait longer and longer What used to be 65 is now 67. That's 2 extra years of waiting. Well, here's the problem. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't want to wait or realistically can't afford to wait to get their Social Security because they need that income to live during their retirement. They need that money to pay bills, to cover basic expenses, to keep a roof over their heads, and food on the table. So they maybe don't wait that extra time to reach their full retirement age to get their Social Security, and therefore they sustain a larger penalty by taking their benefit early. And this is a critical point that a lot of people don't fully understand until it's too late. You can take your Social Security retirement benefit as early as the age of 62. That option is available to everyone who qualifies for retirement benefits. But if your full retirement age is the age of 67 and you choose to take your benefit at 62, you're claiming 5 full years early, and you're going to see a reduction of approximately 30% in your monthly benefit amount. That's nuts, right? That's a huge reduction. We're talking about losing nearly a third of your benefit for the rest of your life permanently just because you claimed 5 years early. Here's how the penalty structure works. It's about a 6% to 7% reduction per year that somebody takes their benefit early. More specifically, it's about a 0.5% reduction per month. Again, I'm rounding a little bit here for easy mathematical purposes and to make this easier to understand. But the basic formula is approximately 0.5% per month, which works out to about 6% to 6.5% per year, depending on exactly how you calculate it. So if you claim 1 year early, you lose about 6% to 7%. 2 years early, you lose about 12% to 14%. 3 years early, around 18% to 20%, and so on. By the time you get to 5 years early, claiming at 62 when your full retirement age is 67, you're looking at close to a 30% permanent reduction. Let me give you a real-world example so this really sinks in and you understand the financial impact. Let's say your full retirement age benefit, the amount you would receive if you waited until 67 is $2,000 per month. That's your full benefit. If you wait until 67, you get $2,000 every single month for the rest of your life. But let's say you decide to claim at 62 instead. You take that benefit 5 years early. Now, with approximately a 30% reduction, your benefit would be reduced to about $1,400 per month. You're losing $600 every single month, which is $7,200 per year for the rest of your life. Now, some people say, well, okay, but I'm getting the money 5 years earlier, so doesn't that make up for it? Don't I come out ahead by claiming early? And that's a fair question. The math on that is complicated and depends heavily on how long you live. If you claim early and don't live very long, you might come out ahead because you collected benefits for those extra 5 years, even though they were reduced. But if you live a long life, which more and more people are doing these days, thanks to advances in medicine and healthcare, those reduced benefits really add up to a significant loss over 20, 25, or 30 years of retirement. Using the example above, losing $600 per month if you live 25 years in retirement, that's a total loss of $180,000 compared to what you would have received if you'd waited. That's a huge amount of money. So again, long time coming for all those individuals born in 1960 or after. Finally, the final adjustment on the full retirement age. Here we are. That's it for people born 1960 or after. This will be the last 2-month adjustment higher to basically reach that final full retirement age of 67, unless they come back in the future and they raise this up yet again. But we'll see here. That's still going to be a while before that happens, if it happens at all. I don't anticipate them doing that. If they do it for probably a couple more years at minimum, I'm just going to say that. Who knows exactly what they're going to do here? They continue to talk about reforming Social Security, making sure that the program is solvent, ensuring that the program benefits will continue to go out to the beneficiaries for decades to come. But they haven't actually done anything concrete yet, right? There are a lot of proposals floating around. There are think tank reports. There are congressional committees studying the issue. But that's about it. They're not actually passing legislation or implementing anything that's truly sustainable at the moment. The Social Security Trust Fund is still projected to run short of money sometime in the 2030s, probably around 2033 or 2034, based on current estimates. When that happens, the program would still be able to pay out about 75% to 80% of scheduled benefits from ongoing payroll tax revenue, but that 20% to 25% cut would be devastating for millions of retirees who depend on Social Security as their primary or only source of income. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I just wanted to come back for you really quickly, break this down, explain it clearly. Maybe you've seen this topic out there in the headlines, in news articles, or on other channels. I wanted to clarify this for you because I've certainly seen it mentioned a number of times, and I wanted to point it out for you and explain this clearly because it can be somewhat confusing to talk through all the details and kind of understand what this is all about, especially with all the technical terms and numbers involved. Now, one last thing I want to say, and this is really important, so please pay attention to this. If you are already on Social Security benefits, as in you already claimed your benefit, you already started receiving your monthly checks, this doesn't matter to you. This does not matter whatsoever. You are completely unaffected by this. Your benefit was calculated based on the rules that were in effect when you claimed. Your full retirement age was already determined based on your birth year. If you claimed at your full retirement age, you're getting your full benefit. If you claimed early, you accepted the reduction that applied at that time. If you waited past your full retirement age to claim, you got delayed retirement credits and a higher benefit. All of that is locked in. Nothing changes for you. You don't need to worry about this final adjustment. You don't need to recalculate anything. Your check will continue to arrive every month at the same amount, adjusted for annual cost of living increases, of course, but the base benefit remains the same. This full retirement age discussion will just be for those new applicants, people who haven't claimed yet, people who are planning their retirement, people who are deciding when to claim their benefit. For those individuals, yes, you need to know what your full retirement age is so you can make an informed decision about when to claim, whether to claim at your full retirement age to get your full benefit, or maybe accept a little bit of that penalty by claiming your benefit early. And I want to be very clear about something here. I'm not saying it's a good thing or bad thing to claim early. I'm not here to judge anyone's decision. I'm just saying, just be aware of it, right? Be informed. Understand the trade-offs, know what you're giving up if you claim early, and know what you're gaining if you wait. Again, I'm not saying there's anything bad about taking your benefit early. That can absolutely be the right decision for many people. If you need the income, if you're in poor health, if you have reasons to believe you won't live a very long life, or if you simply want to enjoy your money while you're younger and healthier, taking benefits early can be completely reasonable and appropriate. That's awesome. If you want to take it, by all means, go for it. It's up to everybody to make their own decision based on their own discretion, their own financial situation, their own health, their own life circumstances. I'm not here to tell anybody you should or should not take it at any particular age. That's not my place. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give personalized advice for your specific situation. All I'm saying is that it's your money. You paid into the system your entire working life. That money is waiting there for you. Take it whenever you see fit for your best situation and whatever you need for your lifestyle and your retirement right now and going forward. One thing that might help you decide when to claim is understanding what's called the break-even analysis. This is a calculation that helps you figure out at what age you would come out ahead by waiting versus claiming early. Let's use another example. Let's say you're trying to decide whether to claim at 62 or wait until your full retirement age of 67. If you claim at 62, you start getting reduced benefits immediately. If you wait until 67, you get 5 more years of zero benefits, but then you get a higher benefit for the rest of your life. The break-even point is the age at which the total amount you've received by waiting catches up to and exceeds the total amount you would have received by claiming early. Generally speaking, for most people, the break-even age when comparing claiming at 62 versus claiming at full retirement age is somewhere around age 78 to 80. If you live past that age, you come out ahead by waiting. If you don't live that long, you would have been better off claiming early and getting the money while you could. But here's the thing. None of us knows exactly how long we're going to live. We can make educated guesses based on family history, current health, lifestyle factors, but we don't know for certain. So this decision involves some level of uncertainty and personal judgment. Beyond just the break-even analysis, there are other important factors to consider when deciding when to claim your Social Security benefits. First, your current financial need. Do you have other retirement income? Do you have significant savings? Can you afford to wait, or do you need the income now to pay bills? Second, your health and life expectancy. Are you in good health? Do you have chronic conditions? Does your family have a history of longevity or early deaths? This can influence whether waiting makes sense. Third, whether you're still working. If you claim benefits before your full retirement age and you're still earning income from work, your benefits may be temporarily reduced if you earn above certain thresholds. This is called the earnings test. Once you reach full retirement age, the earnings test no longer applies and you can earn as much as you want without any benefit reduction. Fourth, your marital status and survivor benefits. If you're married, your claiming decision affects not only your own benefit, but potential. All of this is why understanding your full retirement age is so critically important. It's the baseline for everything else. It determines your full benefit amount. It determines how much you lose by claiming early. It determines how much you gain by waiting. For people born in 1960 or later, that age is 67. Lock that number in your mind. Know that. Build your retirement planning around that. If you were born before 1960, your full retirement age might be different. For people born in 1955, it's 66 and 2 months. For people born in 1956, it's 66 and 4 months. For people born in 1957, it's 66 and 6 months. For people born in 1958, it's 66 and 8 months. For people born in 1959, it's 66 and 10 months. And then we jump to 67 for everyone born in 1960 or later. You can find your exact full retirement age on the Social Security Administration website, ssa.gov, or in any of the materials they send you when you're approaching retirement age. So how should you plan for retirement? Given all of this information, first, know your full retirement age. Look it up if you're not 100% certain. Don't guess. Know the exact age. Second, estimate your benefits. You can create a My Social Security account on ssa.gov and see an estimate of what your benefits will be at various claiming ages: 62, full retirement age, and 70. This gives you concrete numbers to work with instead of just guessing. Third, evaluate your overall financial situation. Look at all your sources of retirement income: Social Security, pensions if you have one, 401k or IRA savings, any other investments, rental income, part-time work, whatever. Figure out how much income you'll need in retirement and how much you'll have from all sources. Fourth, consider your health and family history. Be honest with yourself about your likely longevity. This will help guide your decision about when to claim. Fifth, run different scenarios. What if you claim at 62? What if you wait until full retirement age? What if you wait until 70? Run the numbers for each scenario and see how it affects your total retirement income and how long your savings need to last. And sixth, consider talking to a financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. They can help you analyze your specific situation and make a more informed decision. There's a lot of complexity here, and professional advice can be valuable. Let me come back to this question because I know it's on a lot of people's minds, especially younger workers. What if Congress does decide to raise the full retirement age again in the future from 67 to 70 or some other age? First, understand that this wouldn't happen overnight. Just like the change from 65 to 67 took more than 40 years to fully implement, any future increase would likely be phased in gradually over many years. They wouldn't just suddenly announce that everyone's full retirement age is now 70 starting next year. That would be political suicide and would cause chaos in people's retirement planning. Second, any such change would almost certainly only apply to younger workers, people who are currently in their 20s, 30s, or maybe 40s. People who are already close to retirement or in retirement would be protected. That's how the 1983 law worked, and that's likely how any future change would work as well. Third, there would likely be significant political debate and opposition. Raising the retirement age is deeply unpopular with many voters, particularly older Americans who vote at high rates. Any attempt to do this would face fierce resistance. But fourth, Given the financial challenges facing Social Security, some kind of reform is probably inevitable at some point. The current trajectory isn't sustainable. The trust fund will run short of money in about a decade. Something has to give. That something could be raising the full retirement age, raising the payroll tax, cutting benefits, means testing benefits, or some combination of changes. So if you're younger, if you're decades away from retirement, don't assume the rules will stay exactly as they are now. Stay informed. Pay attention to Social Security reform debates. Be prepared to adjust your retirement planning if necessary. If you want to learn more about Social Security, understand your benefits better, or get help making claiming decisions, here are some resources. The Social Security Administration website, ssa.gov, has a wealth of information, calculators, and tools. You can create a My Social Security account to view your earnings history and benefit estimates. The AARP website has excellent information about Social Security, including claiming strategies, benefit calculators, and articles explaining various aspects of the program. Financial advisors, particularly those who specialize in retirement planning, can provide personalized advice based on your specific situation. And channels like this one will continue to keep you updated on any changes to Social Security rules, benefit amounts, or policy proposals. All right, so that's the breakdown of the final Social Security full retirement age adjustment hitting in 2026. I hope this was helpful and clarified what's happening, who it affects, and what it means for your retirement planning. Let me know what I can do for you. Drop your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you have specific questions about your situation, leave a comment, and I'll try to address common questions in future videos. If there's confusion about any part of this, let me know, and I can create additional content to clarify. Otherwise, stay tuned. It's going to be a very, very busy year. We're expecting potential Social Security changes, Medicare updates, tax law changes, all kinds of developments that could affect your retirement and your finances. I will certainly keep you posted on everything as it happens. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new here, and if you haven't done so already, big subscribe button down below. Hit that button so you never miss future updates on Social Security, Medicare, retirement planning, and other topics that affect your financial life. Please share the video. Big share button down below. Share this with friends, family members, anyone you know who's planning for retirement or who might be affected by these Social Security age changes. This information could really help someone make better decisions about when to claim their benefits. And again, if you're on Medicare, if you're going to be transitioning into Medicare and you need any help, you have questions about enrollment or coverage, you need help finding the best Medicare plan and coverages for you and your personal situation, and you want to see if you can save a boatload of money, call Chapter. The phone